In this video, we will learn about bases. So bases are simply the chemicals which are opposite to that of acids in properties as well. So we know about the baking soda and we tasted it in the first activity. So it's somewhat bitter in taste. So this is one of the property of bases, that they are bitter in taste. Now what you have to do is put 1 or 2 drops of baking soda solution on your hand. Then you will feel soapy. So again, this property is also of bases only. So bases are soapy in nature. So therefore the substances that are bitter in taste and produces a soapy feeling, they are said to be bases. Baking soda is one of the example of a base. Then substances which contain a base are said to be basic in nature. So baking soda is basic in nature. Just like many acids, many bases may also burn your skin. Baking soda is not doing so because it is a mild base and it is basically a weak base. So generally, mostly bases are corrosive in nature. So we should handle acids and bases with a great care. That is why we see hazard warning labels on the bottles containing acids and bases in the laboratory. Here are some of the common bases which are listed in the table. This is basically a baking soda and its solution. What we have to do is simply put the baking soda inside water and we will get the baking soda solution. Here are some of the examples. The first one we have sodium hydroxide. Its common name is caustic soda. Chemical formula NaOH. Then potassium hydroxide KOH. Then magnesium hydroxide having chemical formula MgOH whole twice. Then we have ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. Then baking soda solution which is sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3. Then calcium hydroxide commonly called as slaked lime, it is CaOH whole twice. Now let's have a look on the properties of bases. So bases are usually oxides and hydroxides of metal. Means we just saw this sodium hydroxide which is hydroxide of metal, sodium. Sodium is the metal and its hydroxide is sodium hydroxide. So it is basic in nature. Then we just saw potassium hydroxide. So potassium is the metal. Its hydroxide is basic in nature. Similarly, we have sodium oxide which is Na2O. That is also basic in nature, being a metallic oxide. Now bases show some of the properties which are as follows. The first one we just saw that they are bitter in taste and they are soapy to touch. We know about the litmus paper. So bases turn red litmus paper into blue, whereas acids turn blue litmus paper into red. So they are just opposite to each other. Then we just saw that they are corrosive in nature and cause burn injury to skin. Then very important property that bases whenever react with an acid, means we have a base which is NaOH. Then we have an acid which is HCl. They both react with each other and they will form a neutral substance. The reaction involved is said to be neutralization reaction. Now bases are described by simply the presence of hydroxyl group OH, means we have in NaOH we have NaOH. So OH group is hydroxyl group which describe that NaOH is a base. Similar for KOH, similar for MgOH whole twice, that the hydroxyl group is indicating that this substance is base only. Then next we have bases soluble in water are called as alkali. We know about the bases. There are some specific bases which are soluble in water. Means whenever we put them into water, it will completely dissolve. And then these are said to be alkalis. So water soluble bases are called as alkalis. Now let's have a look on the uses of bases. So they are extensively used in laboratories and many industries. Now we know about the process known as whitewashing, which also happens at our home. So calcium hydroxide is being used for that. What is calcium hydroxide? CaOH whole twice. And it is basic in nature simply. Now we just saw about the property called as neutralization. So bases are used to neutralize acids. So in soil, whenever we need to maintain the pH level, means we have to change the pH. Suppose the soil is acidic, we need to turn it into neutral. So what we will do is we will use the base to neutralize the acidity of the soil. Then we have sodium hydroxide which is used for bleaching, which is used for manufacturing the bleaching powder. Then in paper, then soap and synthetic fibers. Then also bases are used in the manufacturing of fertilizer. Various fertilizers we have. One is ammonium nitrate and a base is used which is ammonium hydroxide. NH4OH is used in its manufacturing. I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.